Alrighty, hello everybody, welcome back. Hope everybody's having a wonderful day. Welcome back to the stream, you guys. My name is Michael. Today is Saturday, April 26th. This is part 2. I got off for a few hours and now we're back. Back again, like we never left. What's going on, everybody? Yeah, we might be able to play some Minecraft maybe if we can get around to it here. So, for those that are wondering, I had the bright idea of doing case openings for CS case openings for subscriber giveaways regarding like on milestones for the channel. That being said, I downloaded CS2 for onto my computer and it's not compatible with Mac like CS:GO was. So we've got to go back to the drawing board. So I think what we'll do is this. I have this idea, and I think it might be fun. Um, you know, I really want to give back to you guys for the time you spend with me, hanging out. The what I get out of this is the learning that I'm getting and the experience and whatnot. You guys are also getting some learning, but really there's no like some tangible asset for you at the end of the day because I do have the channel. So what I wanted to do was um, I think it might be cool, just a way to give back to you guys is to have a what we can call the the scholarship fund or something like that, or the college fund, right, or something, whatever. And basically, well, whatever donations or whatever a certain amount of what is it called, supers or whatever we get, we'll just tally up, and we get to a certain milestone, we'll give it away, give away the amount, in term form of some sort of scholarship. So I really would like it to be a scholarship, used for education purposes. Like that's what the purpose of this channel is for. So um, I was thinking like we could, uh, I'd have to talk to my dad for accounting purposes of how I could do it, but I want to, save up the funds that I accumulate here for on the channel, which is just pennies on pennies, right? It's just very little. And then whatever, small supers we get, thankfully, thank you guys so much for those. And I want to give back to you guys in some form. So maybe like we'll cut some sort of deal, like 10% or 20% of all of those goes towards this scholarship, something or other. I'll have to figure it out. But it's still in the works. It just came to me kind of like the other day, and I kind of would like, I think it'd be a fun idea to continue on with the education and kind of give back to people. Yeah. All right. You can do cloud but not native. How do you do cloud? Hmm. Bum. Which idea are you talking about, Tim? The scholarship idea? NVIDIA gaming? Minecraft? Project and more? Okay, let's go ahead and get the So let's go ahead and do something kind of cool here. So let's go to our GitHub. Ooh. Okay, so let's see here. So let's go to our small business manager community. If you guys haven't forked the project yet, go ahead and fork the small business manager community project so you guys can contribute and submit pull requests to be a part of the community project. If you're looking for opportunities to put on your resume that you were a part of a group of X amount of people to contribute on a group project or a community effort with across, wide ranges of demographics, then this could be an opportunity for us to work together to our advantage. So don't be scared to take advantage of this. So we do have some pull requests. One of them we're going to deny right off the bat, I think, is Mr. Mahan's, because we came to the conclusion that we were going to go a different direction than what the env file source for data storage. So we're going to go ahead and do that here. So what if we select this, what happens here? I could say mark as closed, label, projects, milestones assigned to a certain person. Okay. So then if I go into here, I've never done this before. How do you do this? Live rejection. So how do you do this? Okay, so anybody have some? So what he committed? He said. So he added an external package here, and then he said to install the external package here. Got rid of file path, import on the connect for the database manager class. Calls load env from the database schema. It's load env, which is from this library. Okay. Okay. Interesting. Okay, so what do we have to do here? We need to comment. Do we comment? So let's go to the almighty over here. Say, I am managing the SBM community project and am needing some help with my first pull requests. Awesome, you're managing the small business manager community project now. That's a huge step. I'd love to help you with your pull request. Can you tell me a little more about what's going on? And are you making your own pull requests or reviewing someone else's? Are you stuck in the GitHub process, like conflicts, checks, branching, and how to give feedback? Else, decide what's happening. Oh boy, I had some Wingstop for dinner, guys, and my stomach's not feeling too good. Oh boy. I am on GitHub and am reviewing other people's pull requests. Other people's pull requests. What is the proper flow for either approving or rejecting the merge into the branch? Got it. You're doing code review as a maintainer now. Here's the proper flow. You should follow when reviewing a pull request. Open the pull request and view changes. Look at all the file changes tab. Okay, files changed. Okay, this is what we looked at before. So 3 files changed. db schema.py. Read through all the edits carefully, check if it meets the goals, coding standards, and break anything. Leave comments in line. If you notice problems or have suggestions, decide to approve the request or change. If everything looks good and you're ready to merge, you can approve. Click Review Changes, select Approve. Oh, dude, I'm gonna have to go to the bathroom. It's embarrassing, but this Wingstop is messing me up, man. It's hurting my stomach, like it's like legit hurting. Oh, okay, so all right, guys, I'm gonna take a bathroom break here. All right. Hello, everybody. We are back to regular scheduled programming here. Welcome in. Welcome back. We could restart the stream now. How about it? Pretty much. Hope everybody's having a good day. All right, let's go ahead and get this started. If approved, about merging. Okay, so what if I want to reject? The reject button on a pull request. Instead, request changes, that's how you formally. Said you request changes, that's how you formally reject it. Then explain clearly why the PRSKB merges is. Close it. You never outright reject when closing unless something's way off or spam. Could not accept it at all. You request changes, then close the pull request without merging. Optionally leave a respectful comment. Okay, so we'll review here. Request changes. Leave a comment. Mahan, we're gonna slice off Mahan's head here. Thanks for your contribution to the small business manager community. Project. As discussed within the Discord, we are moving away from within the we're moving away from .env.
For your peace of mind, for all our customers, existing and new, we're locking in low prices for 3 years guaranteed on My Plan and My Home. That's future you peace of mind. And everyone can save on a brand new phone on My Plan when you trade in any phone from one of our top brands. That's new phone peace of mind. Because at Verizon, whether you're already a customer or you're just joining us, we got you.
File path.
Price guarantee applies to then current base monthly rate. Additional conditions apply for all offers.
Database. We move from the database source utilizing a .env with file path .env being the target of the database .db file. As discussed within the Discord, moving away from the database source utilizing a .env with file path .env being the target of the database .db file. right? Because that's what it did, right? We're importing file path. We're connecting the file path here. Being the path source of the database DB file. Okay, so we'll submit that. Okay, so I request change. So he says changes to the env and edit readme for instructions. So then now it's on this portion here, which is on him. So now what do I have to do? Do I close the pull request? So without merging, okay. I'll say closing pull request feature fixed. I'll say closing per agreement within community Discord.
If you work with PDFs at all, you need Adobe Acrobat. You can edit, share, sign PDFs, and more.
Okay, we close this pull request.
By the way, what is a caboodle? It's a funny word. Well, whatever.
So now we go here to pull requests. We go here. Oop. This guy found. Okay, let's keep going here. Okay, now let's go check out this pull request here. Okay, this is quite the details here. So, oh no, why did you did this? That's cool. Oh yeah, you can do this with those comments. The current pull request helps the user to not worry about the path. The database will be created and located in paths that are considered optimal for storing data by default on your operating system. Huh. Nice. Okay. So 8 commits. Number 1. The imported platform from pathlib imported path. So we added this function here of get database path. Get the path to create the database on the OS. So app name equals small business manager, system equals platform.system, if system equals Windows, pass, elif system equals Darwin, pass, else on Linux. Okay, you do this one. Path is .home. So this is his creation of the path for Linux. Okay, so he's setting it for Linux here. So he says path dot home slash local share app name. Small business manager. Okay. Then he does make dir exists. Okay, equals true. So the DB path equals the data directory. Small business manager. Okay, so he's wanting to get the current data. Okay, got you. So he's getting the current path of where the directory is, and then he's going in there. And then creating a path, DB. So this was, what is, this is DB schema. So then he made allowances integer, default 0, he added it back. Oh, he just removed a space here, I guess, cleaned it up, same here. Okay. Let's go to the next commit. Okay, so now his next commit was Windows DB database creation. So if it's Windows, he does data directory path roaming here, and then makes this universally created and then removes it from here. Okay. So the next commit, this is support database creation on Windows and Mac OS. So in Darwin, he makes the path here, and then he removes this but adds here. Okay, create the path. Then he removes the cursor creation. Okay, got you. So you return DB path from here. Okay. So next, he deletes all of my schema here. And then does, this is the database initialization function here. Okay, got you. So he rewrites this as a function where he gets path from get database path, which is that function that he wrote earlier in the commits. Okay, so then he creates a path on here. It creates all these tables. DB execute creates our tables. Create table does not exist. Create table does not exist. Okay, it not exists. So that he added those on here. Description, size, cost, status. Uh-oh. Let's see if he fixes this.
Hey everyone, this is Tatiana Manning, host of Real Talk.
Oh, come on, get out of here.
We know small businesses are dealing with rising costs and looking for ways to
Get
boost
out of
their
here.
That's why we're doing this.
Okay, so then old DB fixes the old DB schema. So the inventory table. Okay, so now he adds back the ID. Okay, perfect. So he puts those back. And then Create table if not exist transactions. So then let's see here. So this is our database manager. So he deletes this here for gross sales. Select from transactions where date like and type like. Oh, it just reformats. Oh, he adds a fetch. I don't know. I think it just reformats something. Okay. So some formatting differences. And then remove the database file DB. And then formatter. Okay, so he just reformatted things. Okay, so this is going branch of dev here. So let's go to our pull request. Let's go open this one. Okay, let's try it here. Let's review. Merges block reviewing required. Okay, so we want to. How do we go review? This one says verified. Huh. So how do I just, can I just open? How do I, okay, I have pull request here. I go, go from your project, check out the new branch and test the changes. Okay, let's try this out. So let's test them out before we merge here. Okay, so let's open up our small business manager, community. Let's go git pull. Or git status. Git pull. Okay, so we have to go from your project repository, check out a new branch and test the changes. So you do this here. You check out make a branch, and then you pull it from his. Okay, got you onto there. Oh, okay. So now I'm on what? Git status. I'm on his branch, okay. Now I commit here, okay. So now if I go to, still has the file path. I don't see any of his changes though. Oh, hey Don, welcome in. I'm doing it right now. I'm trying to figure this out. So we just did, we checked out, made a branch and checked it out called um, your whatever, your thing onto dev, and then we pulled the changes from GitHub. Now test out the changes, but I don't see your changes. Oh no, here they are. They are here. Okay. These ads are brutal. Okay, so if we run the app, so we have no database file here. We have a database.py. Okay, so this is what it looks like. So app name small business manager. We're going to go into these areas and make a directory called small business manager, and then make a file. So hold on. Okay, so we're gonna app name small business manager. So we're gonna go into local share app name. Okay, let's try it. Let's see. Oh, whoops, wrong function here. Oh shoot, maybe I shouldn't have done that. Now I probably have. Okay, whoops. We gotta go to app py and run this one. Okay, it pulls up. Okay. Okay, that's cool. Still pulls up on here. Now, how do we test where the database is? Because the README is here, license. Let's talk here. Now check the directory to see the database. Why do I have two business infos? Huh. Now check the directory to see the database. What directory? Is it in my Finder somewhere? Let me go here. On chat. Windows. Library applications. Huh. Mr. Dawn. Just follow up the directory written in the db path function. Just follow up the directory written in the DB path function. Path home. DB path function. This is not there. For Mac OS is library application support. Okay. So you go look on my file finder. Okay. Let me look up here. Small business manager. Should see a folder called small business manager DB file there. Sorry, I'm trying here. I'm trying. Okay, so in my, not my documents, it would be in my Macintosh library application support. Adobe. Idle screen, anonymous logic, Mozilla Pro apps, Adobe script editor templates. I found the application support under the library, but I cannot find, there's nothing in here in the application support. Adobe app support, Apple, Avid, BTS server, crash report. Yeah, hopefully. We gotta figure that out, Patel. Welcome in, dude. Okay, so I'm in the application support file directory. I don't think there's anything sensitive in here, so I'll show it, whatever. Okay, I'm in here, but I don't see small business manager. That's where it's going, right? So it's in library, application support. This is my current file that I already have. This is my, right. This is not the right one. Okay, so what happens if maybe if I need to close this first, let me close it. Okay, now let's look. Let's go here, where is it? Library, application support, script editor. Huh. Platform system code Darwin. Well, then how would it be opening it up? Is the question. It's obviously opening it up from somewhere. Check if a local share folder exists in your Finder. Okay. Okay, like a .local. This is my Macintosh SSD library. Applications. Library. This path here. All good, Don, no worries. we're figuring it out here. So then, so in path system platform.system, my user.local instrument. No .local here. Okay, so should we, this is system. So let's go ahead and print system here. See what's what are we getting here? Darwin. Okay. So it's getting this. So then data directory. Let's print oh, what's wrong? So if I run is this what's printed? It's this. Library/application space support small business manager. Let's take this. Users Michael Deming. Library application support. Okay, so we go here. Michael Deming applications. Users. Is it shared? System. Library. It's not there.
With Asana, you can manage any kind of
What is search this
from
path?
project intake to campaign management to strategic planning or anything else your team works on. Asana works for you. Try for free today at asana.com.
Choose to follow your
Huh.
instincts. Every Mazda is designed to feel like it was made just for you.
Okay, so users, slash Michael Deming. Library. .local's a hidden folder. How do you open the path? How do you do that, Pram? How do you do that, sir? So this is the path. Okay, let's go. Okay, let's I'm not using the OS, so okay, here it is. Where is this? Where was this? Library? Oh, there was a library in here? I didn't even notice it. Oh, it's hidden. Ah, it's hidden. Okay, it's a hidden folder. Ah, okay. So it's in there. Right? Where's my path at? Oh, there it is. So it's library application support. Okay. Nice. Cool, okay. So now if we go in here, there's our DB. Woohoo! Alright, cool. Nice. That's awesome. Good job, Don. Okay, so now we don't even have to worry about paths. So my next question, Don, celebrate by gambling. I'll open a couple cases tonight if you guys will coach me on how to do the cloud thing. I don't know how to do that. But how do I do the... So we don't need this file path then, right? This is over, right? Right, Don? All right, chill on God. We're doing code in here. We're doing code. Chill, chill, chill. Exterminated. Exterminated, Don so said. All right. So let's go ahead and... Okay, so let's go... How do I... How to restore back to last commit. Okay. Okay, so his stuff works then. Perfect. So let's go ahead and merge this on in to our dev branch. Is that all you did, Don? Is that all you changed? I think that's all you changed. And now I'll have to make some edits into dev to How's it going, IMAX? Welcome in. Get this scholarship fund started. Oh. If you guys are new here, make sure to sub along. We're cruising up on the road to 2K. Hopefully we can hit 2K by maybe like next week. That'd be awesome. If you guys are here new, make sure to subscribe. Anybody want to be here, try to run their luck at lucky number 1840. 1840. Can we get 1840? We're also live on Twitch right now, link down below. I have a Discord link down below if you want to join and get access to the community offline. Okay, so let's go ahead and get status here. Is this all you did, Don Soap? Mr. Donny Soaps? Is that all you made?
Ranger, we're for the ones who pay attention to every little detail. The ones who fuss, tinker, and sweat the small stuff.
Uh-oh, not another ad on the...
Can make the biggest difference when it comes to
not another ad on the
we get it.
music. Come on. I mean, I gotta give the creator his ads, so it's okay.
Hey there, my web crafting wizards. In today's episode,
Oh, come on. You're out of here. And actually cure gambling addiction. Okay. Nice. Good stuff, dude. Okay, so let's go ahead and delete the file path. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and git commit on this. Remove or git add. Remove, we'll say del file path .py not needed. Okay, now let's go ahead and let's go ahead and say what do we want to say here? We want to, so we deleted that. Okay, so now we want to figure out which one of these is accurately getting stuff. So if I add in, let me delete 2025 from here and see if we run @py, what happens? Where do we get the 2025? If I add an item here, it adds. Okay, that goes up by 10, perfect. Let's sell that item. Okay, sold it for 15. Net income of 5. Let's make an expense. Let's make it 5, so it'll cancel out everything. There we go. Balance sheet 0 because we sold that inventory item, and income statement is 0 for net income. Perfect. So everything works accordingly here. And then let's go ahead and make sure if we close out of this, reopen, we still are pulling from that current database file. Nice, Donnie. And then let's go ahead and check. It's going on to this outer one. So let's delete this. And then let's go ahead and run app.py here. Make sure everything still works. So if I go out of here, I go into here. Let's say I hard code on like another string of tests here for sale platforms, and I load up. I quit out and load up. And transactions sell platforms. It's not there. Oh, it overrode. Oh, because it's saved what was originally there. I can't add in new data here. Right, I have to add it in my my business class here. That's where it's pulling from. So then if I just go to here and remove this, go into my app.py, launch our app, go into the balance sheet, let's add a size of a test, add, there it is. Sizes, test is there. Now I exit DB info and test is there. Perfect. So now if we run app.py, and then we go settings, remove size, test, update, boom. Nice. So now what's really cool, Donnie Soap, Mr. Don Soap, what he wrote for us is really cool. It's really awesome because, hey yo, Donnie, it's really cool, it's because now when we push and pull all the data, it's not going to push and pull our .db files and our file paths anymore. So the user isn't going to have to change the file path for each time they push and pull from the database, like for changes by the local community, right? It'll just sync up to the database on their system, whatever, either have Windows, Linux, or Mac, right? It'll just sync up automatically. And then what happens is that file will stay there locally within that application source, like on their local drive. And then when they pull new changes, it'll load from that file, and then it will do all of that jazz. So it's really cool. Now the thing is maybe our next feature, the only thing I can think of that maybe we might want to implement next on top of this is, let's say that we change something with the current database schema. For example, let's say that we go into here. Right now it says create this table if it doesn't exist. Well, right now this table does exist. But let's say we add in a new parameter here that we're going to now track for, let's say, our balance sheet, right? We're going to add in a new asset we're going to track under the balance sheet. Well, the balance sheet table already exists in the database file, so it will pass over this and will it automatically create that new header or that new column, or will it pass over it because the database already has the table balance sheet despite it not having the newly updated column? So we might want to have a function to, let's say, create this table if it doesn't exist. But let's say we change something with the current database schema. For example, let's say that we change something with the current database schema. For example, let's say that we change something with the current database schema. For example, let's say that we change something with the current database schema. For example, let's say that we change something with the current database schema. For example, let's say that we change something with the current database schema. For example, let's say that we change something with the current database schema. For example, let's say that we change something with the current database schema. For example, let's say that we change something with the current database schema. For example, let's say that we change something with the current database schema. For example, let's say that we change something with the current database schema. For example, let's say that we change something with the current database schema. For example, let's say that we change something with the current database schema. For example, let's say that we change something with the current database schema. we might want to have a function to just create the database on launch, right? And then populate the data inside, right, on an initial, sync or whatever. If that makes sense. So what'll happen is it's a two-step process where it'll create the blank tables no matter what, and then from a duplicate file, maybe read the items into the database as is. So that would require basically like a mirror, not a mirroring file, but not a mirror because it's not a mirror, but a twin file, a twin CSV or twin probably JSON file that would follow this database for every step. Right? What do you think, Donnie? Mr. Downey? Hey, Karan, how's it going? I finished Python Crash Course, didn't do the Django project. Now I'm doing CS50X. Nice, dude. I didn't do that one either, and I did CS50X. You're following my path there. Sounds great, dude. Sounds awesome. Okay, so now let's go ahead and go get... So our status here. So we deleted the business info JSON. So let's go git add, git commit. We'll say del duplicate we deleted the business. We'll say app/business info JSON. And the reasoning behind that was duplicate file not need. Okay. No, that's gonna be our next step here. So now let's go to our README here and let's change this up. Built-in Python libraries. So let's go here and go, what is it called? Is it pip freeze?
Fentanyl is closer than you think. Yep, literally.
Yeah, someone's gotta clip that. No way. Someone has to clip that. Yo, whoever's on YouTube right now, someone. That was a brutal. That was a brutal like Arrested Development moment. Pause. So are there? Oh. No way. Someone. That was brutal. To the fentanyl ad. Just vibing, all of a sudden, fentanyl. Oh my gosh. Donnie says, sounds good. Also looking, the JSON probably could be local as well, since if the user pulls new version of the software, it will pull the default .json and get the user's JSON over. Yeah, exactly. So we would want the JSON file that is the shadow or the twin file that gets loaded into the database upon maybe new creations of columns or whatnot. And right, so that would be housed within that local compartment as well, so that you wouldn't have it be overridden. Because then, the DB file would be created fresh every single time. And then, honestly, what's really important then is the DB, but what houses your actual information and is saved, hard is that would be that JSON file, right, Donnie? So why didn't this make though like a requirements.txt? So pip freeze Like this. That's not it. How do you do it, guys? Yeah, I was just gonna import the README just for so beginners can know here, Donnie. I have the built-ins here, but I wanted to include them so that that just beginners can know what built-ins we're using here behind the scenes in the README. So what is it? Is it pip? What's the thing? Hey Theos, how's it going? Welcome in, dude. Thanks for following along here. I'm a pretty new guy here too. Thanks so much for being here. I'm gonna probably use that code a lot, Donnie. I'll probably come back to this project and use that, path setup for future projects. Seems pretty useful. What is it? Pip. If you aren't in a command line. Oh, but there isn't anything installed. Yeah, Infinite, this is my code. Well, a little bit it was, well, this is the community project. I've written like the base 97% of it. And so now Mr. Donnie Soap, he contributed. He was our first ever contributor. Round of applause, Donnie Soap. Super happy. So we don't have any modules downloaded within this currently, so that's why it gave us nothing. Why didn't it give us something here though? Or here? Why didn't it give us like an output? Yeah, I'm not in a virtual environment, right? I didn't want to have to make the user go into a virtual environment every single time, so maybe that's why we need an executable to auto. Okay, got you. So then my question, why didn't it give us anything here then? Yeah, that's how I started to, in my new project, the TLC simulator, we're working in virtual environments here. I've been trying to get better at my structure. Yeah, so this is the community project that we've been building so far on the channel here. So then how do you, why didn't it output anything there though for my pip freeze up here? Error unknown freeze Python 3. Okay. Oops. Okay, so now. Oh yeah, because I just don't have any. On my local, I don't have any packages installed. Because when I do install packages, I go into a virtual environment. That's why I didn't do a virtual environment originally for this project. When I probably should have, but I didn't because I knew I wasn't going to need any external packages. Okay. Okay. So this adds in though, this adds in platform and path lib. Okay, so then the database sync happens automatically. So we don't even need to do this. Should I make a note? I doxed you. What? No way. How? Just by copying over the thing? What, this is you here? Whatever this is? What do you mean? What do you guys mean, doxed? Not doxing nobody over here. You guys are scaring me. I'm always scared I'm gonna show something on accident. It's so ridiculous. Okay. So we don't need that anymore. Okay, so then what we're gonna do is we're gonna add in you guys are so funny. Okay, so what we're gonna do is in our project here, we're gonna add in a contributors.md, and then we're gonna put on here contributor, or we'll say small business manager community project contributors, and then we'll have 2025. Donnie, what would you like to be referenced as? What would you like to be referenced as, Don? Donnie Soaps, aka. Do you want your real name, or do you want to leave it off? I mean, I think I exposed your GitHub username, which I think is your real name, so I don't think it matters. Lord, I'm putting Lord Gat, bruh. We'll do we'll just do the GitHub username. Don Soaps YouTube chat. I'll just keep the GitHub username. So I'll edit this to, or I guess I'm gonna do it. I'll put right here. What's my GitHub username? Is it Michael D Deming, or is it my D Deming for my middle initial? It's Michael D Deming. Okay, cool. How about that? You guys like that? Little contributors tab. So if you guys want to contribute to this project, whatever, how little or how small, just pause. I know you guys, some of you guys are small out there. Just go ahead and give yourself contribute. Make a little feature, add something to the project in any way. Revise the code, improve my current code. There's definitely opportunities to speed things up or improve my current code in ways and refactor it and whatnot. So take an opportunity to try to revise the code and challenge yourself and then contribute and get your name up here and be involved in the project, and let's get this really going here.
6 or 7 other universities and WGU's just said,
Uh-oh.
send it here and we'll take care of it. It was seamless, and I knocked out almost 3 years worth of credits, and I did it in about 3
Wow,
months.
3 years worth of credits. Okay, let's go ahead and get this going here. So git status. So we modified the readme and added contributor. So let's go git. Git. Say delete. Or no, say mod. Say update readme for new DB path. I cancel this. There we go. We'll say, right, we date for auto DB file path, add okay. Cool. So what else should we add here? Yeah, we out here getting 3 ads per minute. Yeah, infinite cookies. So this is the small business manager. It's a pretty simple application, and I tried to write it as simply as possible for other people to understand. I try to be pretty organized and whatnot. So it is a application written in Python using Tkinter to create a graphic interface for users, and that way, what happens or basically in theory, is it's a kind of one-stop business ledger for a business. So a business user will be able to load their inventory items, populate expenses, transact inventory items as for sale and return them, and then generate income statements automatically and generate a balance sheet automatically for given calendar periods. So if you go ahead and run your app, you're brought with this, which syncs up to your local database here. And so you're brought with this file here, or with the database, with the actual project, sorry. Again, been going here for an hour and a half. We already did an earlier stream, so I'm getting a little tired, but I'll have to get a drink here. So, right, you can load an inventory, expenses, and then transact those inventory items as type sale or type return, and then populate an income statement for those various parameters. To transact returns, you only give a date, an item to return, and the total amount of the return, and then commit the return. If you try to populate other information for return, you get an error because it doesn't need it. And then you can update various information for the business, like in these drop-down windows. You have the ability to also search the matrix more thoroughly for more specific sizing and whatnot. So what I'm gonna do, guys, is make sure you're also, if you guys aren't, make sure to connect with me on LinkedIn. It's just my name. You guys will find me on there. It's my profile picture. You can't miss it. Connect with me on LinkedIn, and I'm going to make a post on LinkedIn. Dun, 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 make it official. I'm going to make a post on LinkedIn to, just show this off, basically. I'm going to say, hey, I've written this project. It's an automated business ledger for small business owners to generate and populate income statements and balance sheets based on inventory and expenses and transactions of those inventory items. And then I'm also going to mention that it's an open source project with access of over 500 members within my Discord. And so I'm going to make it official on the LinkedIn, make it LinkedIn official, and post it on there. What do you guys think about that? We'll get some exposure on there as well, and we'll see what happens. Someone do a backflip, Don. You're gonna get your thing merged here. You're gonna come on. Okay, so we're all good here. Let's go ahead and merge this. I think we're okay to merge this in. We updated the README. We updated the README. Community version. So let's go. So I'm going to take the community version tab and I'm going to put it up here. I'm going to put it at the top here and say, welcome to the Small Business Manager Community Project. I am super excited to collaborate with programmers from different with many collaborate with programmers on this open source. Is open source one word or hyphenated? 2 words. I built this project. I built and will maintain this project live on hold on. Yeah, Tim, that's honestly a great feature. Let's talk about it in the Discord. I have because the tree view currently has the ability to do that via, like, if you highlight. So for instance, in the AppPy into Kinter, you have the ability with the tree view. I currently don't have it enabled, but you can go in here and select and edit individual parameters, right? So we would want that for the expenses, the inventory and the expenses, and then the transactions as well for certain items, right? We would want it for maybe the amount, the transportation, the fee, the discount, but that one's auto sum, so that one would auto generate a refresh. But then we'd also the thing that's difficult though is once you make an edit to one of these, you have to basically have a lot of cascading things. Like if you edit this and its status isn't sold, then you also have to edit the balance sheet and then the potential income that would be so there's like a lot of cascading a lot of cascading bugs that will come. It might be a pretty big project, Tim, that we might need to branch out and kind of tackle together with a lot of different, bugs or whatnot. What do you think about it, Tim? The code is live on my GitHub. Welcome, Priyash. You can contribute to the community project here. We're doing pull requests right now. Welcome, welcome. So we'll say, welcome to Small Business Community Manager Project. I'm super excited to collaborate with the programmer, with programmers of all sorts, of all likes on this community source, on this open source community effort. Discussion on discussion related to this, to new features and discussion for this project can be found. Come on, why is this? Am I getting an ad right now? Discussion for this project can be found within the programmers by Michael Deming Discord within the open, what is it called? What did I name it? I can't even remember. If you guys aren't in my Discord, join the Discord to get access to the discussion for this project and get features coming up. Open source, just one word. Open source category. Discussion for this project may be found within the Discord within the open source kind of found under small business manager community. Is there a within the open source category under the I'm gonna bold quote these. And this will be bold within the open source category under, so this would be community. Within the discussion. Channel. Cool. How's it going, Sida? Is it Sidant? How's it going? Infinite cookies. That's currently something I lack. I don't have the ability to test, like, I don't have a lot of experience with writing tests and, formally and whatnot. And a casino bot on the Discord? How could we do that? The Twitch is dead today. Oh, no way. Oh, I haven't been streaming on Twitch the whole time. I'm so sorry, Twitch, my fellow Twitch people. I have not been streaming to Twitch the entire time. I've been streaming for almost 2 hours. I'm sorry, Twitch. Hello, Twitch people. Oh. My bad. Welcome in to the Twitch people. Hope you're doing well. Let's make sure you guys are good. I think we're good. Anyone want to test the Twitch chat? See if it works.
Worth it for your home. Well, before you get quotes, here.
Okay, so now let's go ahead and say 5.10 kids. What? What? That's so bizarre. Okay. So now I think we're good. So let's go git add here. Git commit. Oh shoot. So this is gonna say, what do? We update readme for community project. Community project. Okay, so then now that we've committed this, all right, the Twitch is working. Nice. Thanks, Tim. Mr. Tim Duncan with the slam. Okay, so now that we got the community project, that we got everything synced up and working, let's go ahead and what do we want to do here? We want to know I want to merge this. Now, what do I want to do? 5? Why is this crazy? 5? So now what do we want to do, guys? Do we want to merge this branch into our development branch? So let's say how to merge branch. So we want to get checkout dev. Okay, this is our dev branch. And then we want to get merge. Now I don't know the branch. How do I get the name of the branch? Hold on. How do I get the name of the branch? How to get the name of branches so I can merge. Okay, so with a get branch. Okay, here's our branch we want to merge. So git status. We're on dev, so git merge. Ah! Oh, we merged that into dev. Now we're git status here. We're on dev branch. We're ahead of origin by 12 commits. So let's go git push. Cool. So now if we go to the GitHub, here, our pull request is gone. We merged it into dev. So this is our main branch. So let's go to dev branch. Nice, it's all there. Woo! Oh, it feels so good when we're like finally putting the pieces together with like, you know, project management and like understanding Git. Like that reading is starting to kind of work here. Stuff is starting to come together. And so like it's really rewarding, you guys. If you guys want to be a part of this and be up here, I stream every single day around 7 p.m. PST. Today was a part 2 stream. I streamed earlier today around 1 or 2 p.m. until about 5 or 6, and then I got off and got back on, and we've been going for another 2 hours here. So we did about 5 or 6 hours today. So thank you guys for being here. We're gonna continue going here for a second, but a little bit longer. But we're just taking a little bit of a break here. I'm gonna grab some drink to continue on. So don't worry, we're still going. But yeah, so join the Discord so you can get access to the discussion across this small business manager community project where we are, building, a business ledger for small business managers. Cool. Nice. We're getting this. We're getting this. Huh, Tim? I know you just cringed, Tim. I know Tim just shuddered. So make sure if you guys are going to go work on it to pull the latest changes. So what I'll do is I'll go ahead and put in here, please pull latest changes from dev, new updates per Dawn Soap, implemented, merged. Woo, look at us. We're like a tech company over here. Like a little tech company. Look at the startup over here we got going on, huh, Tim? Huh, Dawn Soap? This is not in Flask. This is just all in Python using Tkinter locally on the... Yeah, not an API. Yeah, this is Python, and this is a completely written in Python project. So I highly suggest if you're wanting to get experience working alongside other programmers, contributing to projects, to take a stab at working on this one with us. All right, let's go ahead and move on here. Let's check our commit history. How are we doing here for 2025? April's looking pretty good. We got contributions every day. 51 that day, 61 that day. Beginning of the month, we weren't pushing our notes, so, but we'll hopefully fill this up. What 2024 we had? This was when I was taking CS50. This was when I was taking CS52 right here. I know, Tim. My bad. If you guys aren't following on Git, make sure to follow, fork the project, leave a star. Really, you guys are awesome. Thank you guys for following along here. Links down in the description below. Okay, so we're moving on to our thin layer chromatography project, which right now we're writing the front end for the actual receiving of compounds. So right now we have this functionality where you can add a compound and it gives you a drop down for a retention factor and a description. You can add a compound up to 5 of these and then run a simulation or randomize a simulation, right, at any point in time. Poll in Discord general. Let's take a peek. Burn the Git book. I don't have the Git book. It was just an ebook. Okay, so the next thing that we want to add here is right. So what is this? Is just index HTML. So then, what's my next steps, you guys? I'm not good at front end stuff. So what is my next step for what is my next step here? Just Python here for the back end. Python and fast API is my goal, is what I was going to use. So right in my main.py here, we have fast API, and we're using Pydantic to import base model and fields. So we're creating a base model, which is called compound base, which takes in a compound name, x coordinate, y coordinate, and a retention factor. So this will say index.html. Here we return I don't know. Okay, so yeah, I'm trying to learn this. This is the first time we've ever done this here. So what now? So let's go to the almighty orb and say, okay, I am working on my TLC project. Hey Dalio on Twitch, what's going on? Or Diallo, welcome. Thanks for coming in. We're trying to now basically use Fast API to navigate through this and receive the information from the user upon insertion or on run of the simulation or of buttons, right? So we have the JavaScript for adding the compounds and removing the compounds, but now we're going to need the Fast API in Python to get this information. Let me lower this so the chat's not in the way. Yeah, man, AI, I've been, well, that's kind of what I use it for, Jawdeep, is I really use ChatGPT as a form of, honestly, documentation. I think that if you use it that way, it can really speed up the process at which you learn. You have to use it disciplined. Like you cannot copy and paste code. You cannot just look at code blindly. So I will preface, don't show me code. Just talk it to me through words. I'll ask it for basic definitions and whatnot. But yeah, so what I'll say is like, hey, like I'm trying to learn Fast API. I'm not sure what this means. Can you coach me through it? That's basically just me. The same thing as me going and watching a YouTube video on that various subject, but I'm just quickly getting the information like that. That's the same thing as me going to Stack Overflow and searching it, but I'm just accessing it in log time rather than linear time or whatever. So it's kind of, I think it just might, my theory is that it'll just speed up the learning process if used appropriately. I mean, they just signed an executive order to force kids at the age of 6 now to start learning it in the curriculum, which was exactly my prediction. I predicted 100% correct. I've been saying this for about 5-6 years now. My prediction was that either AI or computer programming will become a core curriculum required curriculum in the core series for education, and it just got signed in I think yesterday or 2 days ago. So my my genie skills are pretty good here. I'll look similar when I want to search for anime pictures. Bruh. That is so funny. That was hilarious. Okay, so what do we need to do here, you guys? Okay, so let's say I'm working on my TLC project and have a working index.html where entry boxes are, and for compounds to be entered for a name and a retention factor. Then I have buttons for to then run the simulation and one to randomize. I am ready to link to Python with fast API, but I am just lacking the current ability. Can you coach me and teach me how to use fast API in this
My son Ian
circum?
diagnosed with a brain tumor at the age of 16 months. We had no
All right, let's not kill the vibe here.
I mean, they say
I'm sorry, Liam, about your condition, but
are 12 years into this journey, and
no, call me crazy, but I really think like ads that like prey on like pathos, like honestly like animal shelter ads or children's hospital ads, I think that those should be illegal. Now, now this is my soapbox. I have nothing wrong with them in theory, but in terms of the place, like I just think like it's kind of like manipulative to use that level of emotion for money. I don't know, or donations. Okay. But I mean, how else are you going to get donations though? So there's that side of it. Awesome that you're at the perfect point to bring in fast API. Let's go step by step. It's super beginner friendly and focused on your TLC project. What's the goal? You have an index.html with input boxes, compound name plus retention factor, and some buttons to run the simulation and randomize. When a button is clicked, you send the entered data to Python via fast API. Python will process it, maybe run the simulation, maybe simulate the chromatography and send back a response. Maybe a result. Install Fast API and Uvicorn if you haven't yet. Make a basic Fast API app. Create a new Python file like main.py, and inside it, we import Fast API and import Pydantic. And import the base model. Okay, I already have that. Then we have a class, compound names. Okay, so we're gonna run Okay, let's go. Let's take this step by step and don't move on until I am ready. I've got to break this down further. Okay, so we install API and fast UV core. Okay, so okay. Okay, so this is my current main.py. I have compound in a classes dir elsewhere, but a comment of the schema. You've already done a lot of the setup, and I see you've defined compound base using Pydantic, which is perfect for validating the data fast the API will receive. A few suggestions. Compound in a classes directory. If you want to use that compound class from the classes directory, you need to import it into main. Right, so let's go from source slash dot classes dot import compound. Classes dot compound import compound. You want to import it into main, but for now compound works for validation. You can skip the compound class and focus on fast API running first. The field min length and max length for coordinates. For compound x coordinate and compound y coordinate, you likely don't need min length as coordinates are integers. You might want to switch that to more appropriate validation, i.e. positive numbers. Okay, so let's get rid of min length here. Define the simulation endpoint. Let's move to the defining the endpoint. Here's what we'll do. You create a post endpoint that expects the data, compound name, compound x coordinate, etc. Well, I don't need a compound. I'm not validating an x coordinate, so I'm just validating a retention factor given, right? So then let's do, so in your API add, so you add this app.post, quote, we're going to go to the /simulate post request, right? We're turning on, I didn't think we wanted async on. Simulate compound via compound base. You need to have understanding this endpoint entity clear. We're ready to move on to the server. Hey Eric, how's it going? Welcome in, dude. So if my user is only giving a name and a RF, we don't need to validate the X and Y chord. Let's read a positive number. Oh, the Discord, the ad thing. Let me check that out. Let me check it out here. Let's look. Oh, that's brutal. I'll have to go and turn up the volume. I love that sound effect. It's so funny. Okay. So we post simulate. Let's return this string here for some message. So what happens if I just return this message, then this f string app post. API app post. Is that what I meant? App.post. Okay, so what is my next step? Let's move on to the next step. Now that you're ready, let's start your server and student action. So in my run simulation button here, right, I need to give on the button that submits the info, how do I link it to that post? Real quick. Submit data. What? What? It was not that difficult with Flask. So what do we have to do here? If you use a tool like Postman, you can test your endpoints without having to write code to interact with it first. Huh. Yeah, there's always like so many tools. So I don't really know what to do here though. So we have a button to run the simulation. So what do I have to add to the button? Because I'm not using a form here. do I have done this with Flask. Depending on when you want to send the data HTML page and faster, you stick with Python site things are a couple of approaches.
I've got one question for you. Do you know how to get the maximum compensation that you deserve in the shortest time possible?
You still need
without jumping through countless hoops, chasing down firm after firm, or paying crazy attorney fees?
Okay, so if you want to handle everything from Python, you can send HTTP requests from your Flask or another Python directly to your. No, I'm not using Flask. You need to serve the index HTML file with using Fast API. So when the user accesses your app, they can see the form. Okay, so then in my indexed HTML, if I go here, I need to create a div. Well, I'm creating a div called so right here, the new compound container is this div. Okay, so then we'll say let new compound container form equal document dot create element. We'll call this a type of form, right? So we're going to create this form, and then we're going to put form dot action equals to quote slash simulate, and the method is post, right? So we create a method called post. We then create an input, and a button. So I say, what if my submit button is not in my form? Okay, that's fine then. So we'll create this form with these parameters. We'll create these inputs for the form and this button. we get this section, we're going to append new compound container form dot append child new compound container, and container form goes here, right? Cool. So then what happens if everything still works? We can move. Perfect. If I take this, I go inspect, and I go console, I'm gonna move my chat. Let's put it right there. It's fine. Also, I left a message on the small business channel. Just wanted to know the ideal ID, then merge. Also left a message on this one. What was that? You can merge dev changes in the main set updates the main project as well. Oh yeah, gotcha. Okay, so we'll say this. I have Prettier installed. Is this working for this? Why isn't it? Is this working? So I have a bunch of spacing here, so I don't know if it's working. Okay, so then now what I want to do is I'll say, so on my run simulation button, we're going to give a on click equals to quote equals to on click is going to equal to submit form function, right? This is going to be on click equals to quote So then what we're going to do is come into our program here for not listening for removes, but listening for on the add events. We have function submit form, which is going to go document dot get element by ID and do run simulation button. Oh no, we're gonna get, we already have the element by ID, which is here. Add compound button. So here, new compound container form. Submit. Listen. Let's take this outside of here. Here. Document by get element by ID. Cool. Remove. Compounds form. Put that there and submit that. Session simulate. Okay. If I go to inspect, run simulation, 404. I'm going to take my script and paste it here and see if it likes it or not. JavaScript looks good out, however, notice a few potential issues. Since you're dynamically creating the form, you should ensure that the form is properly submitted when the user clicks the button. In your current code, you have the submit form function, but the form is not associated with the submit button. You're using ID equals compounds form. You need to make sure that when a compound is added, the form for each compound is submitted correctly. They generate up to 5 total compounds, then submit all together, not 5 different forms, but one form, 5 compounds, 10 entries. So if you want to submit all the compounds in one single form and have multiple entries in that form, you need to adjust your setup slightly so your compounds are added to the same form dynamically. The form itself stays the same, but instead of creating multiple forms, we'll create multiple input fields. In the same form. Huh. Is running on a different port than the server. Your fast API is running on a different port than the server sending you to the HTML page. So if you cannot just submit to the endpoint, you need to use something like fetch to send the request. What do you mean fetch? The fetch request option? So like instead of post it's fetch? Well, it's trying to go to /simulate, right? Right, which it shouldn't be doing. So let's do so if I say I am currently traveling to a error 405 page for /simulate. But I don't want to leave index.html. It's the main and only page right now, and the post is for sending a form of data, then receiving back the matplot lib simulation. You want to stay on the same page when submitting the form and receiving simulation results without navigating away or getting error 405. This error you're seeing 405 typically happens when the HTTP method used for the request post is not supported by the route. You also want to ensure that after submitting the form, the page does not reload or navigate away. Here's a solution for keeping everything on the same page using Fast API and JavaScript. Ensure that the simulation supports the post method. What in the world? What is it doing? Why are you going and writing so much code? Yeah, you got carried away. To keep everything on the same reloading, when you submit the form, accepts post requests. App.post. Is it app.post? It gives me this little squiggly here. This app. Endpoint for get the HTML in a post to receive the form data. Okay, you need an endpoint for the get. Okay, so Trevor, how do I set that up? So slash simulate. We don't want to return anything. I want to return you back to index.html. Right? I want to return you back to this, but I need to return, in Flask we would return back to the current page. Right? With how am I serving the HTML? I'm sorry, Trevor. What do you mean by serving the HTML? I'm not familiar. Because right now I just have my HTML page just blank as normal. And then I have a submit button, right? This run simulation button that is running this submit form on click, which is a function which is getting the element of compounds form and submitting that via a action of slash simulate here on the compound form. Okay, so simulate. I don't know, I'm kind of at a loss here. Anybody know on the Twitch? Okay. So I submit the form. I'm confused. Okay, let's break it down. App.post. Simulate compound return. Send data without refreshing the page. On the form. Yeah, I don't know. Now I'm getting tired though. My eyes are getting heavy. We've been programming for like 6 hours today. Hey, 1850 subs. Thanks so much for the 1850, whoever that was. I appreciate you so much for following along. My name's Michael. I'm 26. I got a degree in human biology and a minor in chemistry. And I work as a formulation chemist as a 9 to 5 job every single day, and I code every single day afterwards. Um, so thank you guys so much for joining me and being here. I've been teaching myself how to code for about 10 months now. Okay. So, okay, you're going way too far ahead. Way too far ahead and not related to my current issues. You have a server running on port 5 of this and you to the HTML. Fast API would run on a different port. Fast API doesn't send back HTML because it's not an HTML server, it sends JSON responses. Okay, then how can, yeah, like Flask, so. Okay, why are you giving me so much, okay, stop giving me so much info, just let me respond. Okay. Okay. I am wanting. Wait, I'm confused because. So what I'm wanting to do is when I submit this button, all I'm wanting is for my information to be sent to Python, Python to analyze it, generate a plot, and send back the plot to this current page. The page refreshes and a plot is generated and displayed on the page. That's all I want to do. Right, so when I was using Flask, I was using the render template, which was rendering HTML template pages and then serving those to the user. That doesn't look like it's what I'm doing here. Right. I should just use Flask then. I thought Flask and API was like the I thought Flask and Fast API were like kind of interchangeable. Like one was, you know, you know what I mean? I thought that they were interchangeable and that they were somewhat similar in theory, like Apple versus Android. Am I mistaken? The YouTube chat delay sucks. You can use Fast API, but you're not calling the method for render template. Okay, so I need to do something similar to how I would in Flask and render the template on index.html. Okay, so Flask API is good if you want to separate out the API from the web server and is good for distributing services and breaking large complicated projects up. Okay, so then let's say what What is the render template for Fast API to serve HTML pages to the user? To render HTML pages with Fast API, you can use Jinja 2 with the Fast API templating system. So let's do pip install. So I've used Jinja 2 before. Okay, so you can create template folder in your project directory. Okay, so then we'll go. This can be called templates. From Starlet request, import request. Condition. Okay. Okay. From fast API dot templating, import Jinja 2 templates. Or say from Starlet import Starlet dot requests, import request. Okay, so then we're going to set up our templates. Is equal to Jinja templates directory. Templates. And then we get home request. Huh. So then should I live now? So that goes to simulate. Async def simulate request. And then return template render template index request. I don't know. Should I just use Flask? So I am wanting to. Okay, so my goal is to have the user put in up to 5 compounds, hit generate, then the graph will generate on the back end, then be displayed on the current page. Huh. Okay, we'll have to think about this, but I'm pooped for tonight, guys. I'm done. I'm tapping out. If you guys have been here, part of the late night crew, thanks so much for being here. If you guys are not subscribed, be a sub. We're at 1850. Thank you guys so much for being here. Truly, I stream every single day around 7 p.m. PST. We did over 6 hours of studying and streaming today, doing live coding, Leet code, reading, and problem solving, and project work. So thank you guys truly for being here. I'm really dedicated to learning and improving as best as I can. I'll be back tomorrow where we'll probably do another double feature stream, one in the early afternoon and then one in the late evening, or early morning, early afternoon, or vice versa, or whatever. Join the Discord link down below where you can get access to all my resources and chat with me offline. I'm just pretty pooped out for tonight. To continue on, we'll probably end up having to. I just don't really know Fast API enough to be able to work with this project. We might just need to convert this over to Flask and serve render templates using Flask to render the template back to us, or whatnot. I'm really not sure how to do this with web. I've never done a lot of web stuff. I've only done local Python things, so this is obviously very new for me. But we'll get it in time. Does anybody have any like tips or things? I got the hiccups. Sorry, but like in regards to this, like what my whole goal is the user will just add their compounds, right? What I wanted was that the user will add their 5 compounds, press run simulation, and then over on the right hand of the screen is their simulation will then be displayed to them, right? So it doesn't travel to a new page. It doesn't do anything crazy. It just refreshes the current page with the information that you populated, giving you the graph here, in the middle or whatever. Does anybody have any? What do you guys think the best approach is if we want to do that? If we want to just put the 5 compounds in, press run, and then right here to the right side of the screen, the simulation runs. um, the simulation gets ran in my Python on my back end here. So what I'll do is I'll take the values that the user enters, I'll compute this simulation using my matplotlib, and then I'll return them back this animation. And then what will be happen is that we'll get back this plot right here, and then this will be ran on this screen. That's my goal. What do you guys think? What do you guys think is the best way for us to go about doing that for next time? All right, you guys, let's think about that for a little bit. We can chat about it in the Discord. I'm going to go ahead and sign off for today. Thank you guys so much for being here and hanging out with me. I'll go ahead and see you guys later. Bye, guys. Have a good one. I'll see you tomorrow. Peace out, guys.